Hello, welcome back. So we are going to go over our Halloween sunset. Now, the first time I made this video, I went into grave detail on how to spray paint this thing, but I did not go into any kind of detail on how I did the glittering or the glitters that I used or the applying of the decals or anything like that. So I'm going to link this video. This is the beginning of the video that I posted about a year ago. And it's only about 5 minutes long. This is about 3 minutes. I just put it in here and sped it up just so you could kind of see how I do the detail of the ombre here, of the different paints. But if you go back and watch that video, I go into, like I said, a lot of detail on how and what and when and where and that kind of thing. So I would encourage you to go and check it out. But I just stuck it here just so you could kind of see that this is where we're going to start out. But this is obviously a year ago, not the same cup. So I'm starting off with these colors here: Kissy, Coral Reef, Plum, Yellow Dog, Punch, Eraser, and Pirate Holographic. All these are available on the Glitter Ranch website, and I've got a 10% discount. So I start off with Kissy, which is a darker purple, and there is no holographic here because I just wanted just a beautiful dark purple in the sky to, you know, give you that nighttime kind of sky. And I will have to say, on this one, I wish that I would have gone a little bit deeper with the purple as far as paint wise, because I didn't have as much room with the purple that I wanted to have. But I was worried that it was like a shorter, smaller cup, so I was kind of nervous about putting too much purple, but I ended up putting a little bit too much yellow. But either way, it turned out perfect and I love it. But it just, if I had to do it over again, I would put just a little bit more purple. So I made sure that that edge, that top edge, was really covered in that Kissy. And then right after this, we're going to go in with our Plum, which is a much more of a reddish purple. So it will give us that under that deeper purple plus going into that pink color. So here I'm using Plum to kind of blend in that purple into that pink color. So all of these are a metallic because I don't want too much holographic colors coming in until we get down to the bottom, and we want those oranges and yellows and reds and stuff like that to come through because it is in fact a sunset. So I don't start off with the holographic until later. So all of these are metallics and they are absolutely gorgeous. I'm a purple freak, so I love purple. So anytime I can add purple, I'm perfectly fine with that. So now I'm going in with Punch, and that is going to bring us into the darker version of the pink at the top below the purple, right? So I am taking very, very slow. I did not speed this up or anything because I wanted to show y'all exactly how slow I took this. Now Punch is kind of an iridescent, so it has just a little bit of a pink, a purpley kind of blue color to it. So I thought it would be really kind of neat to put at the bottom of those two purples because it would, I thought, kind of give like a starry night kind of feel, and it worked out perfect. And now I'm going in with Eraser because it is a gorgeous pinky, orangey, iridescent. It just blended so well with that Punch. I don't know, these colors all went so well together. And when I blended them together, it just was like, you could not tell where one color ended and started. And that is exactly what you want when you do an ombre. So you really got to find colors that will allow you to, that have similar hues to them, and that also kind of have similar, like when you're going into the iridescent to holographic, that kind of thing. So it just allows you to get that perfect ombre and going slow and taking it very easy on how you're doing it, just sprinkling it on, lifting it, going up and down, so you get a little bit into the color at the bottom and a little bit of color at the top. So now I'm going in with Yellow Dog. Now Yellow Dog is a holographic, but that's fine because now I don't mind if we have all of those colors because they're kind of reflecting from that night sky and the sun setting and that kind of thing. So the color aspect of this was, I was very meticulous on the colors that I picked, and I picked a lot of colors, but it was on purpose because I just I just knew that if I blended all of those colors in, that I would get just such a gorgeous, fun Halloween sunset. And this was definitely more colors than I used the first time, but I have learned a lot and I've come a long way. So I think that I'm a much better place to teach you how to do this ombre than I was back then. So then we're going in with Pirate Holographic, and this is also going to be giving us a lot of different colors. You see a little bit of green there where that yellow and the black meet. And I'm fine with this being kind of off and bumpy and kind of, because it's it's supposed to be kind of spooky, right? It's a haunted house scene, so it could just be grown up grass, grown up hills, and just different little things. So I don't mind that this is not a perfect ombre. This is setting our tone for that bottom piece so we can put all of our decals on that part. So then I poured a little bit down on the sheet and just stuck my bottom right in there, because there's a lot of ridges on the bottom of this cup. So I kind of put a big pile, a big mound there so that I could get all of those little, indentions and stuff in the bottom of that cup. So it worked out. So once again, I used the glitter glue for this, and I gave it a good little application with a nice thin brush, and I have those linked down below, and it worked out really well. I got a really smooth finish, there was no bumps or anything, so this time it worked out really well. So I don't know what I did the first time, but this time it worked. So once again, I'm proud to announce that I am working with Artistry Epoxy, which I use every day. And here I am pouring my B side into my little cup here, and then I'm going to take my A side and I'm going to take it out of its warm little bath, and we're going to fill that up, and then we're going to combine these two into this cup, and then we are going to add our epoxy mixer and put that on our epoxy mixer and mix it for probably, I would say probably about 5 minutes or so. I just kind of watch it until it gets really clear, and then it's good to go. And I just check it to make sure that's all mixed, and we're good to go. Now I let that glitter glue dry overnight. It's usually whenever I do polyacrylic or that glitter glue or anything like that, I usually try to do it at night, and then I just let it sit, and then in the morning I come in and we're ready to go. And so I'm probably putting about 15-20 milliliters of epoxy on here. This is our first of 2 coats before we go into any kind of sanding, Dremel the rim, and putting on decals or anything like that. So I just put this coat on. I don't even try it. I don't even look at it again until we put another coat, and then we move on to our next steps. And then I hit it with a little bit of heat to pop the bubbles, and we're good to go to let it spin for about 4 to 6 hours depending, and then we let it dry for about 8 to 12 hours. So I have sped this up significantly because it is a longer process, and I've kind of cut it and chopped it. But honestly, I'm going to add all of these decals onto my Facebook group, so join down below and you'll find all of these there. You can add them however you like. I like the fact that it has kind of a hill, like a roundness to it, because it kind of looks like it's been propped up, in the background, or propped up on a hill or that kind of thing. So it works out really well for me. But if you could find any Halloween haunted house situation, zombie, whatever you wanted, and put it on here. This is just something that I found that I thought was super cute and had all the little elements that I wanted. And I used this frosted purple this frosted glitter purple vinyl that I find at the store by my house. But I would encourage you to use whatever is like a signature for your look. If you wanted to use holographic or if you wanted to use black. I just like that deep dark purple. It just adds a little something to it, and so that's why I use it. But I just add these different the house, and then I kind of cut the tree, and I cut the bats, and then I just put them kind of where they will fit. I'll be honest with you here, I made this a little bit wider than I thought, and I don't know how I messed that up, but the dimensions were way bigger for this 20 ounce than they should have been. So I'm not sure if I Cricut messed it up or if I just didn't hit enter or something, I don't know. But when I cut it out, I was like, this is really huge. So I had to end up kind of cutting pieces of it and putting it on there. But either way, it doesn't matter. It all came out perfectly fine. Now, those little clouds that you see down up at the top, I drew those myself, and I will upload them, so they will be available for you. I cut about two sets of them, and then I just use them, either use them all or don't use them all, or whatever feels like at the time. So those, after you add all those other little elements, all the other trees and the bats and the, all of that, then go in with your moon, put your moon on. The moon is literally a circle. It's maybe like an inch. I don't know. It just depends on what size cup you're doing. You can do this on any style cup, any size cup, but just kind of make the moon either a little bit bigger or smaller depending on what you're doing. And I used the same type of vinyl, which is like a frosted glitter vinyl. It's a dark gray, and so it just kind of adds a little spookiness to it. And I just put those wherever I feel like it. And I don't use transfer tape or anything. I just pull them off and peel them on there and set them. And so these I drew myself, so they will be available and you can use them for whatever you want. And of course, I went in with my Mod Podge and I covered up all the vinyl, my logo on the bottom and the vinyl on the around the cup to seal it all in. And it just gives you a perfect seal. And then you go in with like 2 more coats of epoxy and you're done. If you wanted to add a little name, you could definitely do that. I don't offer it on this. I feel like it would take away from the design, but it's totally something you could do. You could add a fun little spooky little monogram or something like that. Would be kind of fun. But all in all, I wanted to make sure that I recreated this for you guys and show you exactly what I did in that first video. So watch the first video for your spray painting tip, and then go into this video and watch how I actually achieved the entire look. So like I said, this is one of 2 final coats that I did on here. After this is sealed, I'm going to seal this vinyl in with a coat of epoxy, and then I had just a few little bumps here and there from different little aspects of the design there, the little pumpkin face or the bat, something was a little bit bumpy, so I just went in with another coat and it worked out perfectly fine for that second coat. Add a little heat to pop the bubbles and you're good to go. So here it is, the final design. I just love the colors of this. It is just so much fun. It makes it a little less spooky, but a really beautiful sunset for Halloween. It just has all the little elements. Please, if you remake this, please tag me and join my Facebook group down below. All of the links and all of the information that you need to make this tumbler is down below. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.